Thank God that the brothers on the rise now. Endless celebrations all in my house.
Welcome back, everybody. My name is Louis. This is Top Bins Football and the fourth round FA Cup review. I'm not going to cover all games. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pick out highlights and my favourite games of over the weekend. First of all, I want to talk about Cheltenham versus Man City. Cheltenham scored early on. Alfie May, incredible to see yet a lad like that from a non-league side score against a big club. Also, the captain, Ben Tozer, or Tozer at least, I don't know his first name, it's Tozer. He didn't score, but he kept Man City out of his box for 80 minutes. Played really well. He kept them out for 80 minutes, which is incredible, considering Man City are arguably one of the best teams in the world right now. But then, after those 80 minutes, it did show that they were a class above the rest. Man City are a great side because they carried on. Their fitness levels were much higher. But I've got a problem with the game because Man City's first two goals arguably were offside in my eyes. The first one might not have been, but the second one definitely was. And I feel that Cheltenham were punished because of who they are. So the rule is that if you can't get VAR in the stadium, in all stadiums, then it shouldn't happen in any other game. Like, if that makes sense. Like, VAR is apparently it can only be in big games. So if it was around the other way and it was at City's ground, and they scored those goals, VAR would have chose it as offside and they wouldn't have counted. But because it's at Cheltenham, I feel that Cheltenham had been they've been punished for being Cheltenham because they haven't got a great stadium. That they were punished for that. But Man City were the better side, and they deservedly did win 3-1. I would like to say Cheltenham should be very proud of how far they come in this tournament and how well they did play against Man City. They showed some real character, and it was an absolute statement. Well done to the boys, but they did lose 3-1. Next game I want to talk about is Blackpool versus Brighton, and it was goal of the tournament so far for me. It was Basuma for Brighton, absolute screamer it was. And then Gary Medine, he scored last round, but then he scored this round, the first half late equaliser for Blackpool. And then Brighton just non-stop pressing, and then Alexi McAllister takes a wild shot and it deflects off his own player, goes in, so it counts. But it's a bit, you know, I mean, like, who knows what would have happened if it didn't hit his player. So it was, I can't remember who it counted for. Azarte, 25-yard strike from McAllister, sort of deflect off of Azarte. So that finished at 2-1 Brighton, The reason I picked up is because of how well McAllister played for me. He's an absolute star in the making for me. Next game, also another Saturday game, is West Ham versus Doncaster. See, 4-0 scored early from a very team-heavy goal set up properly. Team looked good. Yarmolenko misses way too many chances for me. It was lucky it was against the lower league side and West Ham were scoring, because if that was against a big side that they've got in the next round, they have got Man United in the next round. If he misses too many chances, Man United they aren't going to give mercy. So if they miss a chance, Man United aren't going to miss as many chances as Yarmolenko did. But he did get a goal, and his finish was lovely. But for me, it's not enough to say you played well. If you have 10 chances and only score one of them, you're a striker. Well, he's not a striker; he's normally a winger, but he played up front, and I don't think that's enough. But Benrahma got a lot of assists. Benrahma and Souček run that midfield for me. Own goal for Doncaster made it worse. They were 3-0 down, and then got a debut goal for a young lad, Afoylan. Good to see young lad score. It was unlucky, and it was lucky for him that it bounced to him perfectly from a keeper's save. And here's a little thing: he played the night before for either the reserves or the under-23s. I can't remember, but he played 63 minutes, something like that, the night before, and then went and played for the first team the following day in the FA Cup. And I like stuff like that. Unfortunately, he didn't play enough for me to for him to change the game or to be in my top 5 or top 5 of the day. But it was good to see young lad score on his debut, especially in the FA Cup. Next game for me is Chelsea versus Luton. Luton just weren't good enough. They put up a fight, but there was no real class or high level in their team. They did get a goal, and it was Kepa's fault. He is absolutely useless. It's a fucking joke. And earlier on in the game, the commentators were saying he needs to go back to the Italian leagues so he can get more international football. He's not going to get international football no matter where he plays if he's that shit. It's just painful. Tammy was great. Absolute classic number 9. Scored a hat-trick at home. Great to see young English lad do well. Werner was useless again. He missed a penalty, which topped off a bad performance from him. We've all said, all football channels, and then the Premier League pundits on telly, and all these people that claim they're experts have said, he needs time, he needs this, he needs that. At that sort of price tag, you don't need time. And then they said he needs time because he's adjusting to a high-level class of football. He's then gone and played Luton and was still shit. So I don't think it is time. I think he just doesn't want to play, or he was a flash in the pan. He was great for a couple of seasons in Germany. He's just not used to the British style of play. But you should be if you're that expensive. And then you're going to play games against teams like Luton who don't mess around with the defender. But that's not what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is they don't mess around, but they're not as good as the Premier League defenders. So if you can't score against Luton, you're not going to score against big clubs. Yeah, but if it finished 3-1, let me round that off actually. Timo Werner is well in over his head. I just don't think he's actually good enough. But the game ended 3-1. Luckily for him, he didn't score. He missed a penalty and all that stuff. So if that penalty was more important, then I would have had a bigger rant about it. United versus Liverpool, the highlight of the weekend, highlight game. End-to-end game, absolute cracking game for a neutral. We love to see it as neutrals, those sort of games. And it was great to see Salah back in form. Looked like he was having fun. He scored twice. Rashford and Greenwood playing great partnership out on those wings, feeding each other those balls, especially down that left-hand side. Real making out-of-form Trent work. Luke Shaw was an absolute rock. Yeah, assist for Greenwood and a goal, and then an assist for Rashford and a goal. Took it with Salah getting 2, took it to 2-2. Then Bruno came on, changed the game completely. Absolute star player for me. He's not my star player of the game, but what I mean is he's a top player. Not many players can come onto a pitch, especially a game where it's 50-50. This is anyone's game, and then he flips it on its head. As soon as he came on the pitch, you knew if anyone's going to win this, it's going to be Man United because of how he plays. And people might say it was a lucky free kick to concede, but he took his chances. And I just want to mention that Williams, the defender for Liverpool, is absolute dog shit. You're putting him in against some top striker. Jurgen Klopp can't be that stupid and putting a player who isn't good at all against Cavani, who is a experienced, prolific number 9, or Rashford or Greenwood. But Greenwood's not not proven to be prolific, but we know he's quick. So it's I don't understand the team choices there. But it was good to see Liverpool get 2 goals. They did lose 3-2, but this could boost their confidence into the league, and maybe we'll get to see old Liverpool back. Last game I want to talk about is Everton versus Sheffield Wednesday. Everton looked absolutely class. They were a different team, absolute different gravy. Put a proper shift in. Quality in midfield changes the whole game. Gomez and Rodriguez are the best players for Everton. They controlled everything on that pitch. Everything went through them. If it didn't go through them, it didn't work. So it was just, let's go through these boys. Goals from Calvert-Lewin, Richarlison and Mina. 2 assists from Rodriguez and 1 from Gomez, making it 3-0. My top 5 for Saturday was Alfie May, Ben Tozer, McAllister, Ben Rama and Souček. Ben Rama's my top player of Saturday. Players of Sunday, Monday was Tammy, Salah, Shaw, Andre Gomez and Rodriguez. Winning that was probably Luke Shaw, and Luke Shaw was the winner of the weekend for me. Yeah, so we got a big draw next. West Ham, Man United is probably the biggest game for this channel at least. Let me know if I missed anything out or I should have talked about another game. Please leave it down below. Make sure you subscribe, like, hit the bell, follow our socials. It'll be all in links down below. Cheers, guys. Thank you.